Mikayla Nogueira found a way to turn one bright pink CoverGirl stick into a credibility problem, which honestly takes a certain kind of talent. It started about as simply as these things can. She had the product in her hand, pressed it straight onto her cheek, and clearly wasn't impressed with the result. At one point, she asked, "Why is it so big?" On its own, that could have vanished in a day. Like makeup creators use products in strange ways constantly. Lip products land on cheeks, blush ends up on lips, and somebody out there is contouring with an eyebrow pencil as we speak. Experimenting is normal. Half the beauty content on the internet is somebody using a thing in a way that packaging never suggested, and nobody files a complaint about it. None of that needed a hearing. The trouble was how she judged it. Once she started criticizing the way the stick performed on her cheek, other creators pointed out that CoverGirl had never been selling it as a cheek product in the first place. So the complaint and the product were describing two different things. She was reviewing a lip item as though it had failed at a job it never applied for. Then the brand itself showed up, and that is the part that changed the weather.
Mikayla got clocked by CoverGirl. This is incredibly embarrassing. So let's get into what she did. So this is CoverGirl's new lip oil. Okay, so Mikayla did a review and she put it all over her cheeks and was saying how much she hates it. It does nothing. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. Well, she used this wrong because it is a lip oil. So Mikayla basically kept saying, like, why is it so big? It doesn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. And CoverGirl came back and responded with a video of a girl putting it on her lips. And it says, this is why. Essentially,
a company usually has every reason to stay out of a creator's comment section. Wading into influencer drama is a reliable way to make a small thing enormous. And most brands know it. CoverGirl decided the risk was worth it anyway. No dramatic corporate statement, no 17 paragraphs about valuing transparency and the beauty community, no crisis management press release with a sad little apology at the bottom. They simply replied with the product being used on the lips. Quiet, simple, and unfortunately for Mikayla, extremely effective. This wasn't another TikTok creator disagreeing with her taste. The company that actually makes the thing was calmly demonstrating how it was designed to be worn, which is a completely different level of authority. You can wave off a rival creator easily enough. Waving off the people who manufactured the product is a lot harder to pull off, which left one obvious question hanging in the air. Was the product actually bad, or was she grading it on a job it was never built to do? For a beauty creator whose whole career runs on knowing products and selling viewers what's worth buying, that is not a fun question to have floating around your name. Then the internet did what the internet does best, which is dig. A creator reacting to the mess pulled up a comment aimed at the ex that maybe CoverGirl had promoted the product for chicks somewhere in some corner of the internet nobody had bothered to check yet. The comment shut that door completely. It read, CoverGirl has never promoted or advertised this product as being for the chicks on the socials, website, in PR, in review responses, in customer chats, or in DMs.
It don't have pigment in it. What is that? What is that? This is what I have on my lips right now. I actually love this formula. It has squalane in it, so your lips are actually moisturized. I get that that's her shtick, you know, like, oh, this is, at least read the damn packaging first. It's a lip oil, not a blush. And CoverGirl, next time y'all need someone to talk about some of your products, why not send it to these micro-influencers like me and other people out here who actually are going to tell people how the product is actually supposed to be used and what it's like, and read the directions, because she don't put this on her cheeks and then told everybody it's a blush, and it's not. Just an idea.
Painfully specific. Whoever wrote that did not just say nope and leave. They walked through every possible channel where the claim could have been hiding and closed each one off. Socials, website, PR, review responses, customer chats, right down to the DMs. That is the comment section equivalent of showing up to an argument with a spreadsheet. At that point, nobody was arguing about whether you're personally allowed to use a lip product as blush. Put lipstick on your forehead if the mood strikes. Nobody's coming to arrest you. The issue is narrower than that. A product gets used differently from how it's marketed. The result looks bad, and then that bad result gets baked into a review of the product itself, as though the product is the one who messed up. The same creator dropped the line, bigger following, equivalent to better review, on the right screen, and it lands directly on Mikayla's weak spot. Her enormous following is exactly why her reviews carry weight in the first place. When somebody at her level says a product looks terrible or isn't worth the hype, that opinion travels fast and it travels far. Most viewers won't pause the video, open CoverGirl's website, inspect the product category, and run their own little investigation before deciding whether to buy. They don't have the time and they shouldn't have to. They watch her because she's supposed to have already done that part for them. So when smaller creators can glance at the same product, check how it's sold, and spot an obvious problem with how the review was framed, the whole hierarchy flips over. Mikayla stops looking like the expert in the room. She starts looking like the somebody who wished for a verdict before doing the easy part of the job and then got beaten to the homework by accounts a fraction of her size. Getting corrected that gently is often worse than getting dragged because there is no villain to push back against and nothing to swing at. Nobody insulted her or lied about her. The brand just held up the product and let it speak for itself. It is hard to cast yourself as the wronged party when the other side never even raised its voice. Other creators grabbed it instantly because a big name stumbling is fuel and everyone knows it. One video summed the whole thing up as CoverGirl cloaks Mikayla Nogueira, so embarrassing. Then Jeffree Star wandered in, and that is the moment it stops being a small thing.
Jeffree Star calls out Mikayla Nogueira over the CoverGirl lip oil sticks and cheeks. Now, Jeffree Star made a good point in his video when he said,
how big they are, and it's just for your lips, okay? So what is the problem here? Well, she decided to put this on her cheeks. All her foundation came off. Half the internet thinks she's trolling, half the people think she's lying. It's a whole thing. So I went to Walmart to see what the display looks like. You guys are going to gag when I tell you this. Mikayla is not wrong. I looked. Shouldn't she know not to put the lip oil over foundation? Well, here's the catcher. When you go to Walmart and you look at the display of this, do you want to know what it says? Oh, baby, it says that this product is for lip and cheek. Hello? It says for lip and cheek. That means she put it on her cheeks like the ad said.
and when
Jeffree is not a random reaction account with 3 followers and a ring light. He's been sitting near the center of the beauty world for years. He's survived and started more controversies than most people could list from memory. And when he picks up a product to weigh in, the algorithm perks up. He held the stick and offered his own take while Mikayla's original application replayed behind him. Once somebody at that level touches a story, it graduates. It stops being niche beauty gossip that lives on one slice of the app and becomes a general internet event, and the kind of thing people with zero interest in makeup start forwarding to each other just to watch it unfold. Now, the review wasn't sitting quietly inside her own account anymore. Beauty pages were dissecting it, reaction channels were passing it around. The brand's response had folded into the story as its own little plot point, and one of the most recognizable faces in the industry was on camera holding the exact tube at the center of everything. All of this over one pink stick that costs less than lunch. The embarrassing question had quietly shifted from whether she liked the product to whether she understood what she was reviewing before she tore into it. While all of that circulated, Mikayla's personal posts got pulled into the same current, and the tone of them started to matter more than usual. One clip has her standing in front of an enormous, nearly empty refrigerator before a grocery run.
I've been so depressed lately because of the way people are treating me online. It has just gotten the worst it has ever been. This is what happens. Empty fridge, like I eat like shit, I'm not taking care of myself right now, and I need to turn that shit around. I understand people have opinions of me, but people are treating me like I deserve to fucking off myself on a bridge. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna turn this shit around because when have I ever let the internet win?
She buys meat, fruit, berries, vegetables, the whole lot, loads the car, drives home, and fills the fridge back up.
Now let's get back on track. I buy groceries in about 2-week intervals, so this is 2 weeks of food. I also do a lot of cooking, so that's why I need a lot of fresh vegetables, as you can see, and I love fruit, so I always have fruit.
Ordinary lifestyle content on its own, nothing scandalous. The kind of thing that quietly racks up views on a normal week. The problem is that this wasn't a normal week. Content that would have been harmless background noise a month earlier was now dropping into the middle of an active fight about whether she can be trusted, and context changes how every frame of it reads. The caption is what caught people. I will not be reading comments. Love you, red heart. She's still posting, still feeding people content, still announcing upfront that she won't be looking at the response to it. Posting something and refusing to read the room at the same time is a strange combination, and viewers noticed the gap between the two immediately. Reaction creators were watching these clips right alongside the makeup drama, and one stamped this across the video.
I've been so depressed lately because of the way people are treating me online. It has just gotten the worst it has ever been.
This rage bait, or is it just influencer fatigue at this point? Because guess what? Half the people in this country cannot even put food on their table the way that they want to. And this woman made a video after making 2 videos prior to this with her new boyfriend out and about, let's get ready for date night, spending tens of thousands of dollars, bragging about the amount of money that she has. And no, I'm not jealous. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just saying she wonders why she gets the attention that she is clearly asking for, and then throws a pity party saying that she's so depressed because of the way people treat her online. Well, stop acting like that online then. Stop rage baiting people, and you will not get that quote unquote hate that you claim you're getting. You see, you got to go to the grocery store, you got to get organic foods and fruits and veggies and carbs and anything you can think of, and you didn't have a budget. There are people in this world that are struggling. So when you post that you're buying yourself and your friends $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 handbags in one run to the store, yes, people are going to have something to say. But at the end of the day, Mikayla is either bragging or she's complaining. And well, I guess yesterday she decided she was going to complain.
Mikayla Nogueira only brags or complains, no in between. That is their read, not a proven fact. And it's worth saying that out loud because anyone runs with it. To be fair to Mikayla, showing a comfortable life and also posting about being unhappy aren't opposites. Money doesn't patch up depression. No fridge makes anybody emotionally bulletproof, and success won't automatically sort out a marriage or a family. All of it can be true at once, and pretending otherwise is its own kind of dishonesty. Plenty of people would happily trade their whole life for hers and still wake up miserable, and both of those things are allowed to be true in the same breath. The awkward part is the timing. A concrete professional criticism was sitting right there in front of her, while the content around her turned steadily more emotional, and the two started bleeding into the same feed. Then Mikayla posted this. Remind me to never mention my clinical depression again, because people can't seem to wrap their head around how I have that given my life. I've had it since I was a child, and money and success absolutely has brought me a comfortable life, but I can assure you it hasn't cured my brain. I'm still a human being and I go through mental struggles just like everyone else. I don't understand why it's hard to grasp. The way I'm treated online on a daily basis has been challenging lately, and I'm aware I'll leave, but I'm not allowed to be hurting over it. I'll leave, but I'm allowed to be hurting over it. Y'all want me to just be a fucking emotionless robot, apparently. Anyways, I'm getting off my phone for the day. Love you.
Girl called out Mikayla Nogueira. That's why she's sitting here crying with this post. Mikayla Nogueira reviewed the new product they launched and said it had no pigment, and she couldn't see it. Then Daniel Renee reviewed it and showed that it did have pigment. Well, CoverGirl posted a video showing that it does have pigment, a little wash of color. And then Mikayla posted this. Here we go. Then she's logging off for the day after she got called out. That's it. CoverGirl won. Remind me, everybody screenshot. Remind me to never mention my clinical depression again. I think she confuses her clinical depression with being a narcissist, if you ask me. People can't seem to wrap their head around that I have it, and that I live such a wonderful life, and that money and success absolutely has brought me and comfortable in my life. But I can assure you it hasn't cured.
A lot is packed into that. She says she's had clinical depression since childhood, admits money and success made her life comfortable without curing what she deals with mentally, and she says she's allowed to be hurt by how she's treated online. Taken on its own terms, most of that is reasonable. If anybody's genuinely arguing that a rich person can't be depressed, that's nonsense, and it's a tired kind of nonsense on top of it. Having money and having a mental health condition are not mutually exclusive, and anybody who's spent 5 minutes near real wealth knows it doesn't arrive with a working brain bolted on. None of it, though, touches the CoverGirl question. If somebody mocks her depression because she's wealthy, she's right to shut that down hard. But asking why a beauty influencer panned a product she used in a way the brand wasn't promoting is a completely separate conversation with a completely separate answer. You don't have to pick between believing the struggles. You don't have to pick between believing she struggles and holding her to account for something professional. Both can be live at the same time without canceling each other out. She can be depressed and still get a review wrong. Somehow, that's controversial to say out loud. The catch is that once the mental health statement drops into the middle of the backlash, the wiring gets crossed. Anyone still discussing the original criticism risks getting lumped in with the people attacking her as a person, and those two groups were never the same crowd. Reaction creators clock the timing right away because timing is the entire game online, and everyone in that world knows how to read it. One video slaps. Maybe start being honest over the grocery footage before cutting straight into the depression statement.
I've been so depressed lately because of the way people are treating me online. It has just gotten the worst it has ever been. This is what happens. Empty fridge, like I eat like shit. I'm not taking care of myself right now.
Remind me to never mention my clinical depression again because people can't seem to wrap their head around how I have that. Given my life, I have had it since a child. Okay, well, you didn't say that in your video. You said, due to the way the internet has been treating me lately, my depression has been so bad, I'm not taking care of myself. Let me go buy hundreds of dollars worth of groceries. And the people in your comment section were like, wow, I would give anything to have a stocked fridge like that. And then you posted this, how money and success absolutely brought me a comfortable life, but I can assure you it hasn't cured my brain. I don't understand why it's so hard for you to grasp the way that I'm treated online on a daily basis has been challenging lately. This reminds me a lot of
Another lays, I need sympathy across the same clips.
Girl, the reason you don't have food in your fridge isn't because you're depressed, because just a few days ago and multiple days before that, you have been posting you are the happiest you've ever been. But now you're depressed and this is why you don't have food in your fridge, is what you're telling your viewers. You want people to feel so bad for you, and that's crazy to me how you want to manipulate your supporters. It's terrible. It really is. But you don't have food in your fridge because you are traveling. You were just in Vegas. You were in LA. You're always out. You're always eating out. And your boyfriend lives with you, so he is now there watching your dogs while you travel, and he's eating your food. If you truly hate the backlash you get online, girl, get off. You are a brand owner now. You don't even need to be online. And when you are online, you do not need to be sharing your personal life and having people wanting to talk about it. But you lie a lot, and that's what's happening here. People don't fall for it anymore.
Those are the accusations, and they are worth labeling as accusations rather than facts before anyone treats them as settled. Nothing in the footage proves she invented anything, exaggerated anything, or posted about it for some calculated payoff. Diagnosing a stranger's motives through a phone screen is not a game worth playing, and the creators doing it can't actually see inside her head any better than the rest of us can. What's visible is the shape of it, and the shape is what people end up reacting to. She's facing a concrete criticism, and instead of that staying narrow, the surrounding content keeps getting more personal until everyone's arguing about whether she's being bullied, whether she's allowed to be upset, whether successful people are permitted to be depressed. Meanwhile, the makeup issue just sits there untouched in the corner, waiting for somebody to remember it. It turns into a strange loop where the controversy matters less than her reaction to the controversy, and then people react to the reaction, and the thing that started it disappears, and the thing that started all of it disappears under the pile. That's exhausting for everyone involved, not because she isn't entitled to feel things, of course she is, but because whenever criticism swells into a bigger fight about how the criticism feels, nobody's left talking about what caused it in the first place. She followed up with something even more personal and even farther from where any of this began, standing on a beach in a white dress, smiling with the written, with this written out beside her: things I think I'm owed. To enjoy the rest of my 20s, grace for past mistakes, a second chance at a healthy marriage, a family who shows me they care about me and love me, control over my health, better relationships with my siblings, people to show up for me like I do for them, a better relationship with food. That's an enormous amount of private pain loaded into one photo. She wants the rest of her 20s, grace for her mistakes, another shot at a healthy marriage, more from her family and her siblings, control over her health, people who show up for her, and some peace with food. None of those are silly things to want. And read straight, several of them are genuinely heavy. A second chance at a healthy marriage and a better relationship with food are not small asks. Those are the kinds of things people carry around quietly for years without telling anyone. But look how far the map has drifted. We opened on a pink stick smeared across a cheek. Now marriage, siblings, family, health, and food are still sitting in the same stretch of public conversation, sharing the same comment sections, riding the same wave of attention the makeup review kicked off in the first place. CoverGirl wanted the thing on your lips. Nobody's siblings were supposed to end up in a meeting. That's the whole reason it looks so chaotic from the outside. A tiny professional stumble is now ringed by the heaviest parts of her personal life. When the actual fix was one sentence long, she could have said she tried the product a different way, did not love how it worked, and noted how the brand actually markets it, and gone on with her afternoon. The beach manifesto was optional. Strip all that way down, and this CoverGirl thing is tiny. It's makeup, no horrifying secret got uncovered, no life got wrecked, no grand scandal cracked open in the process. Nobody's going to remember the specific shade a year from now. And still managed to land on the one spot she genuinely cannot afford to lose, which is credibility. Her whole career depends on viewers believing she knows what she's talking about when she picks up a product and hands down a verdict. That belief is the currency the entire operation runs on, and it's the only thing that separates a paid opinion from a trusted one. The moment new reviews start arriving with an asterisk attached, with people quietly checking the brand's website, comparing her claims against other creators, and waiting to see whether something doesn't add up, the relationship between her and her audience has already shifted underneath her feet. The reviewer becomes the thing being reviewed, and that is a far harder position to broadcast from. That kind of shift doesn't reverse with one good review either. Once an audience learns to fact check you, they don't unlearn it on command. They keep the habit running quietly in the background on every single video that comes after. She can call out cruel comments, talk openly about depression, admit she's struggling, and want a healthier marriage and a calmer life. None of that needs anyone's permission, and it still doesn't answer the makeup question. That part stayed simple the entire time, no matter how large everything around it grew. She used the product on her cheek, the review drew fire, creators produced the receipts on how CoverGirl actually sells it, and the brand answered without ever raising its voice. Everything after that got bigger than it ever needed to be, and most of it got there because of how she responded, not because of what she originally did. When one small pink stick can reopen the entire question of whether people trust your reviews, the stick isn't the problem anymore. You are.